Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, and thank you for tuning back into St. Andrew TV, a cure for your Monday blues. I am your host, Andrew, and today we have something pretty special for you all. Tombstone Redemption. The event featuring one of the Wild West's most iconic towns, and the video game that sparked new fans' interest in the American West. The town Too Tough to Die meets the gang Too Tough to Die. What you're about to see is Tombstone, Arizona, totally revamped into Blackwater, West Elizabeth, where history meets the story of the Linde Gang, and where I take it upon myself to be the quickest gun in the West in order to win a Red Dead Redemption 2 inspired PlayStation 5. The journey begins a late July day at around 9 a.m. The town is notably rowdy for a quiet weekend day such as this. With the smell of gunpowder and the Blackwater Bank remaining unrobbed, I had to keep my focus. My mission was simple: be fast and be remembered, or be slow and be forgotten. I had a one-track mind. During this event, there were several opportunities to walk away with a RDR2 inspired PlayStation 5. I knew my best odds to get my hand on these riches was what YouTube pays me to do: be a 21st century gunslinger. I was in luck because one of these opportunities was in the form of a Cowboy fast draw competition aptly named the Blackwater Heist Shootout. From holster to target, who was the fastest? I knew I had stiff competition, but I remained confident. They supplied me with a belt and a 6-gun, and that is where I took the line and waited for the light to appear. From holster to target. The fastest to that point and the top of the leaderboard. A time that would even make Landon Ricketts blush. I was ecstatic. I was overwhelmed with joy. Someone who had trained for fast draw for roughly a month was king of the castle. I celebrated the only way I knew how. I stole a cigar from Dutch's stash, and I had the best Cowboy coffee with some cornbread and beans that Pearson could only make in his wildest dreams. With my stomach full and nicotine coursing through my veins, I decided to take a walk around town. I thought pretty highly of myself during that time, so I thought about gambling for a bit. However, I did see the ice cream parlor that they were hosting the Texas Hold'em tournament at, and it actually was infested with zombies. I don't know what's scarier, zombies or my inability to digest dairy products. After my stroll through Allen Street, I moseyed on back to where the shootout was being held. This is where I noticed some ominous clouds on the horizon, and they brought with them bad weather along with bad news. I was dethroned. My spot on top was seized by an O'Driscoll named Leighton. I was so distraught that I had to collect myself. I hopped on the first ride out of city limits, and I pondered my next move. Once I got back to my room, I looked to the most competitive person I could think of for support. That's when I knew I could prevail. I couldn't go out like this. I had one more day to accomplish my feat. Thus begun my redemption. You can do this! Now that I got my borderline copyrightable Rocky montage out of the way, there is only one thing left to do that night. Get a good night's rest and prepare for day 2. As I arrived for day 2, I was still weary that the O'Driscolls might be still running about. So I looked to the kind citizens of Blackwater for some additional guidance for my endeavors today. We're at day 2 of Tombstone Redemption, and I am fully in my redemption arc. But I do need some advice before I try my hand at the Blackwater Heist quick draw competition. So we're going to go around to the citizens of Blackwater and see if there's any advice to be had. What about you, sir?
Oh! Wow. What can I do for you?
Do you have any advice for a new quick draw participant down at the Blackwater Heist?
I sure do. Don't blink or you'll die in the dark.
Wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
With that frightening inspiration from my new friend, I did have one more trick up my sleeve. A more intimidating name. Andrew was just not going to cut it anymore. So I went under the alias of Buffalo Drew. That's where I received my belt, my gun, and I took the line. Where I really honed in on beating the O'Driscoll by the name of Leighton. The light flipped on, and .607. I failed. Not only am I not one PS5 heavier, but I'm forgotten in the first ever Tombstone Redemption. And just to add insult to injury, 454 by Leighton was not the winning time. A Pinkerton by the name of Jonathan swung by late in the day and actually got a better time. F you, Jonathan. As you can see, I am not too bent out of shape by not winning the Red Dead Redemption 2 inspired PlayStation 5. I actually had a lot of fun in Tombstone that weekend for the event they were holding. The fact that they gave Tombstone a little bit of a remodel to resemble Blackwater in the game Red Dead Redemption 2 was really cool. I actually met a couple people along the way that actually knew who I was, which was pretty, humbling, I must say. I met a family from Indiana, so hello fellow Midwesterners if you're watching, and to the woman wearing the raccoon hat, I still think it was pretty cool. And I actually got recognized by another viewer by the name of Mitch, and he dressed as a historically accurate Cochise County cowboy, which, might I add, was probably the best dressed of the weekend that I personally saw. Mitch is actually pretty popular on TikTok, and I will leave a link down in the description where you can go find him. I would also like to give a huge thank you to Santee of the Arizona Ghost Riders. You guys will probably know him before you know me, so I do think it was pretty humbling to see a YouTube idol show up in one of the pieces of content that you've produced. So I can't thank him enough for taking the time of day to sit there and chat with me, and even being an Easter egg in my channel. Funny enough to say that somebody who's 4 times as big as me in terms of subscriber count is an Easter egg in my video, but again, thank you very much. So I hope you guys enjoy St. Andrew, bridging the gap between the history and the real events that happened in these historic places and the fiction, whether that be video games or maybe the tall tales that we have heard throughout the American frontier. And I kind of told you a little redemption story within the redemption story that was hosted in Tombstone, Arizona. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed today's video, or leave me a comment stating what you liked, or tell me what I should do next. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as of late, but for those of you who have come across the channel because you like the Old West, maybe you like cowboy action shooting, or maybe Tombstone Redemption, the event itself, brought you to click onto this video. Think about hitting that subscribe button, because you're a daisy if you do.